Hello and welcome to your GMan Season 16 Division 5A Matches of the Week for this week 5. I'm Lord Sigmund and let's get into the games. So again, like last week, we've only had 3 games played. Lijan is missing again. He did post on Reddit this week, but only once 2 days ago, and didn't respond to when Hummerset replied, so I'm assuming this game will be admin tomorrow. So first up, we have the Malicins Underline Stupid Puppies Amazons versus Best Luck is Bad Luck, Right Fools Dark Elves. And it wasn't a 1-1 draw. It was a 0-1 win to the Dark Elves. So, was it a cutthroat back and forth, or was it a 1-1 draw, potential 1-1 draw that the Amazons just didn't finish at the end? Hopefully it'll be a fun one. I'm not too optimistic, but hopefully. Not a lot going on from the stats. Even ball possession looks like. But the opposing half stat here seems to think that the Dark Elves were able to put up a defence in their own half there against the Amazon drive. Not a bloody game at all, with only 6 versus 3 armour breaks. 1 injury each, 1 KO for the Amazons, so yep, not a lot of bashing happened. Oh no, 74 blocks between them, so okay, so blocks happened, but not a lot of armour breaks. Which for an AV4 and AV17, yeah. Okay, so getting into the game. The Amazons induced a wizard and chose to kick. The Dark Elves have picked up a new rookie Witch Elf since last week, and it starts out with a Vanity Pass to aim for the skill up this game. Both teams spend the first 3 turns dodging away from each other and blitzing each other without overcommitting anywhere at all. The Amazons get a casualty, but on turn 4 the Elves make a deep push down one flank, handing off the ball to the first Witch Elf, who's well screened off by 6 other Elves, and no Amazons between them in the end zone. On their turn 4, the Amazons are able to get players in the way of the end zone though. It takes a few go-for-its though, and they need to block the last gap before the sideline with a block step catcher. On his turn, rather than risk the blitz on the catcher failing, Right Fool runs back into their own half and passes back with the Witch Elf still well screened off. The Amazons spread their defence out again, and the Dark Elves run a cage down the other flank. Stupid Puppy chooses to use his wizard here and blast the cage with a fireball. Fortunately for him, the only player they knock down is the ball carrier. It doesn't break armour, and the ball is caught by the Blodge Elf Blitzer at the front of the cage. Bit of a misstep here by Stupid Puppy, I think. He does every single block apart from trying to sack that blitzer attempt first. Any of those could have burned a reroll. This is a case where I would have done the blitz first. Unfortunately for him, he doesn't wait a reroll though in doing so. But unfortunately, the blitz from a tackle blitzer is unsuccessful, re-rolling a push into both down, and the elf ball carrier goes nowhere. All the Amazons blocking the elves from scoring are based up though, and it's easy enough for Right Fool to make a hole and go 1-0 up on turn 7. The Amazons set up asymmetrically for a quick scoring attempt down one flank, but the elves get a perfect defence in response and reposition to oppose it. The Amazons get the ball through on a catcher, but because the perfect defence is only accompanied by a single escort immediately next to the ball and a couple of screening Amazons behind blocking off the close line of scrimmage elves. So not really enough to reasonably protect it. Stupid Puppy relying on Blodge to protect the ball instead. But Right Fool has a Witch with Wrestle, who uses a both down blitz to free the ball. The Amazons are unable to dodge a potential score away on turn 8 after failing the blitz in the first half. Ends 1-0 to the Elves. In the second half, the Amazons pick up the ball with a reroll. Thankfully they got an extra one from the kickoff for them, and set up a 2-player deep elf screen on the line of scrimmage as the ball's very, very deep into their own half. On the second turn they pass it forward and across the pitch to cage it up on the other flank. No players forward of the cage though, so the elves are able to screen it off effectively. Very effectively, and the ball carrying cage don't move more than 2 spaces from that spot for the next 7 turns. On turn 16 they finally make a desperation play after pushing a few players forward on a turn before, but they snake the catch after passing to a line woman in the end zone for a sad end. So, almost another 1-1 draw, like I predicted for the Amazons. My prediction was almost right, but unfortunately Stupid Puppy was scuppered by the last 3+ roll needed to catch it. Next up, we have a 1-1 draw between the Trailer Park Boys, Saddam's Chaos Team versus Red Fang Elite Warriors, Hindy's Orc War Team. Another incorrect prediction for me, unfortunately. The Orcs managed to hold up against the Chaos Claws. In fact, looking at the statistics, the Orcs actually outbashed the Chaos quite considerably. 3 more injuries. Yeah, and a massive ball position percentage from the Orcs. So let's have a look at the replay. Okay, so the Orcs induced a bribe, a babe, and they choose to receive. They get a high kick and catch the ball on a blitzer, then run it up into a cage behind the line of scrimmage with a wide screen of Orcs in front of it. The teams do some blocking over for the next few turns with the Orc cage moving back and forth on the line of scrimmage. And on turn 4 they managed to injure the plus agility block Beastman too. The dirty player Orc then gets sent off on his second foul, having used the bribe to survive being sent off on the first foul earlier. Bad luck there, but it did knock out 2 Chaos players. By turn 6 both teams are down to 8 players, and the Orcs still have the ball on the line of scrimmage, but now all players except 1 on each team are based up in a central scrum. On turn 7 Saddam is forced to dodge to try and sack the ball carrier, who has moved forward to move into scoring range, but he fails that dodge with a reroll, letting Hindy run his ball carrier through to the end zone in turn 7. It is unaccompanied though, and a tricky dodge or a good push could see it blitzed. Saddam doesn't go for it though, instead trying to blitz with the Minotaur, who's near the line of scrimmage, who fails his wild animal row, and Hindy gets the touchdown to go into his second half, 1-0 up. The Chaos Knockouts wake up though, and they have a full team for the second half versus 9 Orc players. Hindy sets up in defence with 6 players in a 3x2 rectangle next to his own end zone, and 3 on the line of scrimmage. I've never seen someone set up like this in the start of a half before, and I can only imagine that Hindy was trying to get Saddam to score as possible to give him more opportunity to get a winning touchdown. Yeah, not sure I would have played it like that. I would have probably gone for the fight, but you are risking not winning, and they were down players, so yeah, it's a interesting choice, not one I've seen before. And it's my supposition is confirmed when on the Orc turns they just move the players further into the corner away from the ball carrier, and Saddam is just allowed to walk the ball down the pitch for turn 11 equaliser. Saddam was faced with the choice of trying to stall out and go for the draw, or making the choice if he could steal the ball back off Hindy and score in the last 3 turns he'd have. Yeah, odd one, not seen it before. The Orc's second offensive drive starts with throw rocks, injuring a Chaos Warrior on the line of scrimmage and stunning an Orc blitzer. Amusingly enough, the ball then lands on that stunned Orc's body. The Orcs then kill another one of the line of scrimmage warriors with a line of scrimmage block. On turn 12, they push the ball into the Chaos half, well screened off, with most of the Chaos players stuck on the other side of the pitch. Saddam tries to make it back to defend, but the players they send back end up based up by advancing Orcs, and on turn 14, Hindy gets the ball carrier into scoring range with a screen, albeit a based up screen, so the Chaos still have a chance. And they capitalise on that chance. With a reroll dodge to blitz, they get a power on the ball carrier, stunning it. Unfortunately for Hindy, any player that could get the ball is based up or screened away from it, but with a 1-die blitz push, they're able to get it back. Saddam responds with another sack blitz though on turn 16, knocking down the ball carrier again. And Hindy seals the fate of the game in a 1-1 draw with a final action failed dodge with his mighty blow blitzer, who loses a point of agility on that failed dodge. So, yep, we've got the non-played game. My prediction was correct, with I imagine, since Legend declined to play and show up, that Hummersep will get the win, and as a result we have a new entry in Hummersep's Hall of Fame, with the Chaos Dwarf on the ground amidst the other bodies there. You'd love to see it. So, last up, we have Glandate's CB Almansa C, the human team versus Murphy's Chemkillers Chemry team. A 2-1 win to the humans here. Correct prediction for me, so 2 out of 2 predictions this week. Not great, not terrible, but not great. Let's have a look at the stats. Murphy got some skill points this week. Excellent to see, you love to see it. And he did it by getting some casualties. Apart from that, it was a very even game. Similar number of blocks, 30 versus 32. Similar number of armor breaks, 8 versus 11. Similar number of injuries, 3 versus 4, or 5 if you complete the kill. Though the Chemkillers do get more knockouts as well, 4 knockouts there versus 1. And similar ball possession, 43% versus 37%. So, fairly even match. Let's have a look at the replay. Once again, the Chemkillers induce Hack, the chainsaw player. Still don't like him, but they bring along a babe as well. The humans choose to receive and get a touchback onto the Strength 3 Blodgestep Catcher, which they cage up behind the Ogre on the line of scrimmage. They move over to one side on turn 2, then drive down into the Chemry half on turn 4, while both teams injure each other, 1 casualty each by turn 4. Glandate dodges away from the 2 marking skeletons to get the turn 5 touchdown, and goes 1-0 up. The next drive sees 9 humans facing a full Chemry team though, and the Chemry turn 5 blitz injures a rookie catcher to take that down to 8. But then they fail the pickup. The humans don't do themselves any favour on the next turn. After an uphill block against a Tomb Guardian to push it out of the way, they go for the 1-die blitz on one of the skeletons near the ball. But they roll 2 1s when trying to make 2 go for it. While doing so, and the blitzing catcher knocks itself out, leaving 7 humans on the pitch. That goes down to 6 on the next turn when the Chemry blitz knocks out another, and this time they make the pickup. And they run the ball down into the human half on turn 7, basing up all the remaining human players. Glandate makes 2 dodges though and gets the 2-die blitz on the ball, carrying Throra, injuring it with a failed regen roll. An excellent defence with such low numbers, removing any chance of Murphy equalising in the first half. Only 1 human knockout wakes up, so the second half Chemry drive starts with 7 human players facing 10 Chemry. Unfortunately missing their Throra now. Luckily for them though, they get their pickup on a Blitzra, using a team reroll instead of sure hands. Turn 4 sees another human knocked out and another one injured, taking them down to 5 players. And that's not enough to stop the Chemry cage from marching down for a turn 13 equaliser. I think with Murphy's record he might have been better stalling for the draw for a pure points reason, but realistically, close to the end of the first division, another drive gives him more chance for skill points gain, and he's probably just out to try and develop the team a bit more now, presuming he's not going to re-roll. Yep, 2 humans do wake up this time, so they set up 7 and have 4 turns to score a winning touchdown. And to help them out, they get a quick snap on kickoff, and they injure a skeleton on the line of scrimmage. Glandate runs a catcher through the Chemry line, right to their end zone. Murphy fails the second go for it, he needs to blitz that catcher though, with his tackle Blitzra, and Glandate has an opening to win. Sadly, after doing some blocks and moving the thrower up, he fumbles the 4+ pass needed to get it over the heads of the Chemry line on turn 14. Murphy responds by stunning the scoring threat catcher and putting 3 tackle zones on the ball on the floor. And which leads us into our play of the week. So the ball's on the floor. Glandate gets a double pow for an uphill block against the marking Tomb Guardian and knocks it out. And then uses his plus edgy catcher to pick it up from 2 tackle zones, rolls a 6 to get the 4+ he needs, and then hands it off to the other waiting thrower. But he needs a reroll to make the handoff. rerolling a 2 into a 6. And then that thrower runs down to the pitch, out of blitz range of that deep blitzer. In basing range with 2 go for it's though. So on the Camrenic turn, that blitzer tries to base up the thrower and fails the go for it, injuring itself in the process. And Glandete ends up getting the winning touchdown on turn 16. An excellent game with lots of back and forth. Good job on getting some SPP. Finally, Murphy, an excellent playing from behind there, Glandete. So let's have a look at the teams after this week. So nothing for FC Hammerstein. Their game still hasn't been adminned. So I'll try and mention what they get this week before next week's recap. So next up, the Trailer Park Boys. No skill ups for these guys this week, and Julian, their rookie warrior, died after getting a touchdown, so it took 3 SPP with him. He's been replaced by Julian 2. Oh, give me a second. There you go. Next up, Best Luck is Bad Luck, the Dark Elves. No injuries for them this week, and Can't Die has headband, levels up after getting a completion, and he picks up Wrestle to go with, the same as One Eye Too Many. Red Fang's Elite Warriors. Rock Soup, the rookie blitzer, leveled up from a touchdown, and he gets plus RG, so that's an excellent pickup for them. But they did have 2 injuries. Head Scratcher's Legacy, who was already a replacement for Head Scratcher, dies, and Patch Helm, the Mighty Blow Blitzer, is missing. He loses the point of movement even. Oh, that's not great. Orcs need all the movement we can get, so I imagine this guy needs replacing. I think it's going to be sad to keep him around. Again, nothing for KSO Bulls because the game's not been admin yet. Well, he won't get anything anyway, probably. So we move on to the Chem Killers. So, the Mighty Blow Tomb Guardian got a couple of casualties and picks up block. Excellent. And then we also have Strip Ball on the thrower, who got that after the MVP in a touchdown. Yeah, that's another good pickup there. And the second Blitzer died and got replaced, and their Kick Skeleton is missing the next game. He's got minus movement there. And then CBL Master C. Ooh, level up on the Ogre. Yep, Rocky the Rookie Ogre got guard from a casualty. Rivaldo here, the thrower, gets kick from a touchdown on the MVP. Francisco in Injusti, down here. Yep, the Rookie Blitzer gets tackle from a casualty, and Javi Navajas died. His rookie lineman was killed and replaced with this guy, Rafa Valero. Oh, actually, no, he was number 16. He's not been replaced yet. Daniel Landete 2 and Martin Urazoki, the rookie catcher down here, they're both missing the next game. And last but not least, Malison's on the land. White Rabbit, the Mighty Blow Blitzer up here, got a skill from casualty but hasn't taken yet. I would expect probably piling on for that, unless they're going to start getting the guard spam. Probably piling on to go with the Mighty Blow if they don't double or a skill. So let's have a look at the schedule for next week. So, got Malison's on the land versus the KSO Bulls. If Lejeune shows up, I think he'll get the win. Draws counter Amazon's pretty hard, but I wouldn't put any money on him showing up. Next up, the Red Fang Elite Warriors versus the Chem Killers. I think Hindi wins here, but it's going to be close. Yeah, it's going to be close. Right, Best Luck is Bad Luck versus CBL Manchester C. A tough one, but I think I'll have to give the edge to the humans. Landete had a really good week this week. Yeah, I think he'll win. And last but not least, FC Hammerstein versus Trailer Park Boys. This is going to be an elf win easily. Elves rule everybody else's rules. Yep, elf win. Excellent. So, that was our recap for week 5. Anybody has any comments or anything, just let me know in the comments on the video or on Discord. And I will see you guys next week. Good games, everybody, for week 6.